Inaccurate inventory and empty shelves can severely limit a small shop's ability to meet their customer needs. And that's exactly what we'll be talking about today, how a small shop can use Odoo as inventory management to ensure that their shelves are always up to date and stocked. Please take a moment to scan this QR code. It will take you to a pad where you can write down your questions, which we'll cover at the end of this session. And in case that doesn't work, you can enter it manually into the browser. It is case sensitive, so please keep that in mind. And this will be back up at the end of the session. So let's dive in. But first, let's just set a picture. So who are we? We are Furniture Max. This is our shop. What we do is we buy, sell, and assemble furniture, mostly standing desks and chairs. We already have a blazing fast tool to make sure that we can sell very quickly anytime we need to. So that's great. However, we are suffering from empty shelf syndrome, where essentially we are not keeping track of our inventory effectively enough, and we're losing customers because of it. We do have a warehouse on the other side of the city, fortunately, and we have plenty of inventory there. It's just we're not accurately tracking how to bring it over and how much to stock at any given time. So the whole point is to show how we can do this. So let's dive into it. Oops. Let's go full screen. As you know, this is the main dashboard. We're going to go to our point of sale application and jump into our furniture shop. Open the register, enter my PIN, 1234. Please don't remember that one. And we're going to open up our cash. We're not going to have cash. We're mostly a credit card business or card business, so it's all good. This is the first thing we're going to see. I have it grouped by product categories, so I can easily filter by categories to quickly find what I'm looking for. So let's say we have a customer come in. Let's say it's going to be Addison Olson, and she's coming in just for our L desk and then our standing desk. And we have a few options here. We have some variants. We're going to add that. And let's just make sure we have a quick chair with 2 different color options, and that's good to go. Now, the thing is, our L desk is a custom desk, so we actually need to price it manually. So after getting some dimensions from her, we're going to price it with the magic calculator. And for now, we're just going to put the price at, not 20, that's for sure, and only 1 unit. But we're going to set the price to, let's say, 2,000. And automatically, we have a promotion that Odoo is keeping track of. So because she spent a lot, we have a 10% discount. And one new feature that's going on here is that we can now quickly and accurately just check out without having to go through some extra steps. At the bottom here, we have a card button where all I have to do is simply specify card, and she's out the door. So quite easy. Let's place a new order. Okay, let's see one of our regular customers is coming in. His name is, you might have heard of him. His name is Bruce Wayne. And so he has some new sidekicks, some new employees coming in, and he needs to get some more items. So he's going to get 2 standing desks, 1 wood, 1 veneer, automatic. The manual is not available in the wood just because it's too heavy. So let's just go with the veneer. And of course, he needs the full suite. So he's going to get the L desk again, and some top-of-the-line chairs. He's going to get 2 of those, and some accessories, of course. Easy. Now, the thing is, he doesn't have the vehicle at the moment to pick this up, so he's going to actually ask us to deliver it ourselves. So if we go to the payment screen, we have a ship later option. We, of course, need to make sure that he has an address, so it looks good. We're going to discard that, and ship later. We're essentially going to specify, okay, when does he want this to be shipped? And he's okay having it shipped on Monday. Great. Now, what I have configured in this database is that I'm not shipping directly from my shop. I'm going to ship directly from the main warehouse, so I don't have to worry about it. And he's going to pay by card and validate. Very easy. So let's close this session at the end of the day and go to the back end. We got to find my name. My name is Mitchell. What my password again? 1234. If I did it properly, perfect. So let's go to the inventory application where most of this will be. Now, this screen here, of course, is just the main inventory operations of your 2 warehouses. We have the distribution center, our main warehouse across the city, and our shop. Each one of these are the obvious main operations that you need to perform: shipping, delivery, and manufacturing, as you can see here. Now, I'm going to go to the operation menu and the replenishment. The replenishment screen is going to be showing me everything that I need to get from different products and different locations. And in fact, you can see that very easily. Oops, that's we don't need to worry about that. Ignore it. We can go by location, and we can see our stock, our shop stock, as well as our warehouse stock. and we can see what is necessary and missing. Now let's focus on the shop. These are the items that the shop is low on. So this is essentially your reorder rules where you can set the min and maximums. What's important here is, of course, to look at the product and the location. So you can have reorder rules for different locations as you see fit. It shows you how much you have on hand and your forecast. What's important is that I'm still learning and figuring out what my minimum reorder rules need to be. So I'm keeping everything as manual. Of course, what you can do is have it set as automated. So where every night Odoo will look at your reorder rules, look at the automations you've specified, and create those manufacturing orders or purchase orders on their own. Now you're going to see here that some of these items I'm actually going to manufacture in stock, the standing desk, because I receive them in pieces from my main warehouse and I assemble them at the store. And so that's the manufacture operation here. And these items are actually going to be shipped from my main warehouse to my store directly. So what I can easily do is select all, order, and order to max. And now you'll see on the right-hand side how much you're going to order. And Odoo does the calculations based off of what's on hand, what's incoming and expected, as well as outgoing, and then, of course, the rules you have specified. So let's launch the order. Great. New database that says it's very nervous. Let's refresh. All right. Now, automatically, you'll see the manufacturing order generated in my shop for 6 units. However, I don't have any of the items anymore, unfortunately. So that actually means I need to relaunch whatever inventory items I need to purchase or procure. Inventory, operations, replenishment, and you'll see they're back here. So let's just order that again. And now our main warehouse also needs to ship. But before we do that, let's see what they would need to do. So go into the overview, and if we scroll down to the delivery orders, they see they have 4 to deliver. Now, this is the one I'm looking at here, the contact for Furniture Max, because this is them shipping from their stock to us. Now, because it's not next door, it's going to take some time and travel across the city, so they have a delivery order, and they have somebody managing their warehouse in that way. As you can see, I have nothing available here, unfortunately. However, I do see I can ship to Bruce Wayne right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh, also, we're out of stock for this product. So our main warehouse needs to resupply. So going back to the operations and replenishment, we can easily see, okay, in warehouse, main warehouse stock, these are the items we need to get. And just like before, we have manual trigger. Now the thing is, what's nice about this operations, this replenishment screen is that you can have a lot of granular inventory management. For example, some clients where sometimes they're going to buy these items and other times they're going to manufacture. And when they decide to do which one depends on, of course, the availability and capacity to manufacture said items. So, for example, sometimes you can choose to buy, or other times you can choose to manufacture. And if you do so, it's quite easy to just also specify the bill of material and or the vendor. So in this case, we're just going to keep it simple and buy all these items. Order. And so what that does is now trigger a purchase order in the purchase application. Here we go, material decisions. All of it is aggregated. I kept it simple by making them have the same vendor. However, it will, of course, launch several different POs at the same time. And if there's any PO that's still in draft status, it will aggregate them into one order. If it was confirmed, it would just create a new order. So this is nice if you want to do weekly orderings as you see fit. So, okay, these are the items. Oops, this desk motor needs to be increased in price. And voila. So we send to the RFQ, they agree, we confirm the order, and then the incoming shipment is expected. So seeing it from the inventory warehouse's perspective, we'll go back to the main dashboard, we'll go to inventory, and our receipts, 1 to receive. So we're starting at the very beginning, essentially. We went all through from selling, we need inventory, creating all these orders, and then we're at the purchase point. So we're receiving them in. We can see the purchase order number here. That's how we know this is the correct one. And it was created just seconds ago. And validate. Great. Now, what's nice is that it is up to date and live, your inventory reporting. So I can go to my locations reports, see in my warehouse stock, all the items I just received. And what we're looking at is inventoried items, but also the quantity you have and reserved quantity, which would be any sales orders or deliveries, as well as shipments, manufacturing orders that need those items. So going back to the overview, we'll scroll down to the delivery orders. Before I go deliver these items, I just want to show you that they're linked. So if I go to this receipts at my store, you will see that there's nothing ready. And if we open it, we see the transfer here. It is waiting another operation because it hasn't actually left the warehouse yet. So let's go back, forward to deliver, and we have the order here. And we can see the source document. The source document is essentially telling you where this order comes from. If it was coming from a sale directly in a make-to-order situation, or not make-to-order, sorry, just a regular delivery, you'd see the sales order document specifically. So in this case, these are the reorder rules that we have specified that need these items. So let's go ahead and open it up. They're all available. Now, let's say if we wanted to ship partially because we actually want to maybe drop ship something for another customer, we could instead actually just say, okay, we're going to do 12 here, or 10 there, 15, and validate. And what's going to happen is Odoo is going to create a back order for later shipments. So go ahead and specify back order. And there we go. And in fact, you can see the next transfer, which is the following shipment. There we go. So now we can check availability. And so these are not available yet, so that's not a problem. So go ahead and validate this remaining order. Now, if we were to scroll up, we would see the receipts, one to receive. And these are all the items ready to receive. And validate. So now it is up to date in our inventory at our shop. So we can go to the reporting menu, locations, and see all the items here. And nothing is reserved. So it's quite simple and straightforward to be able to use them. Essentially what we have here are two different warehouses, easily set up. The warehouses are configured such that we have a main distribution center who buys to resupply, and they could also manufacture if need be. Then you can also choose additional steps if you need to for multi-step routes. This would be more for bigger operations where you need multiple people to perform different operations. Maybe receive, you want to inspect items, you have an area just for that, and then you put it in the shelf. In which case, it is not actually readily available in this inventory until you finish the store operation. Now, in this database, we've kept it simple, not very many locations, but you could go that granular. Now, for a shop, I wouldn't go that granular just because depending on the size, you're most likely going to remember where everything is and just do it from memory. Pretty straightforward. So, as you can see, two warehouses, as many locations as you want, and the replenishment screen is the one you're going to use for you. Now, what's really important to note about the replenishment screen is that it's only going to show you the items that you can reasonably fulfill now, or you need to fulfill at this point. What's going to impact this are your lead times. So, for example, if you have a 10-day lead time and you don't need it yet, it's not going to show up here. But once that 10 days comes and is triggered, it will appear. So that's why you're not seeing anything at the moment. You can also, of course, as you can see, snooze items. And you can force yourself to see which ones you want, group by location, group by product, etc. Quite straightforward and easy to do. So that's essentially it for the inventory management side of the retail store. Now it's time for Q&A. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to scan. Waiting for our Q&A guy. He's good at reading. Hello?
Hello. So, hey, the first question I have for you is there any feature to manage seasons for the products? And if there is one, can you please show it?
The season for the products, I think Fabian showed it in his keynote where you have the AI kind of look at the previous orders from that time and it would recommend what orders you can do. This database wasn't configured to do so, so I can't show you that feature at the moment, but the keynote had that.
Now, how does the store confirm that it received the items from the POS?
From the POS, well, essentially, one thing I could have showed you is if we go to the point of sale right now and start a session. Well, think of the situation. You're a small store. It's probably not that big, so you can probably open up the morning and you know that you received them because you have a truck, or maybe you yourself unloaded them that day. But if we were to open up our products, we can actually press and hold, and it will open up this document or this view where you can see, okay, how many is available, how many forecasted expected to come in, and what your main distribution center has as well. And of course, depending on your access rights, you can see more information or less depending on who you are. So this is how you can see that you've received them.
Is it possible to do an in-store sale and deliver it to the warehouse to pick up in-store?
An in-store sale, and then one more time, sorry?
And deliver it from the warehouse to pick up in-store.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's just what we did. I just chose to deliver directly to the customer. But for example, if I were to go back in the back end again, I will go to the settings of the point of sale terminal. At the very bottom, you have the inventory specification. So I'm allowing ship later. So essentially, I mean, it's not going to be a make to order. Oh, nope. There we go. Sorry about that. 1 second. So there's no make to order kind of situation. So if you are low, imagine I'm clicking here, but in reality, what's going to happen is you're going to be in the store, you're going to have the physical item in front of you, and you're going to be able to have a scanner. If you can't scan it, then you don't have it. So then you're going to use the inventory system to then, okay, I'm low, receive it from the main warehouse, and then the customer can pick it up later. So in this case, the allow ship later, I chose the main distribution center for this example, but you can choose the shop so that you can have the shop deliver it later, and the inventory management application would have a delivery order right here to ship it out. Now, keep in mind that the point of sale doesn't have a mark shipped, so you'd be done in the back end outside of it.
How do you check the inventory from the other stores in the POS? Can you please show it again?
That's what we just saw before. So essentially what you're going to be doing is that each point of sale will be linked to a inventory warehouse. Because think each shop is its own little location somewhere in different parts of the city. And so each one is considered a warehouse. And so you'd see the inventory here per warehouse, per shop.
Can you use the reward points as discount in the items?
Yes, you can. So essentially when you add items, you can have rewards here, reset programs, your price lists, rewards. I didn't have any turned on, but you would set up the rewards in the other applications. We can go to the back end again. Control K, just to rewards or coupons. Gift cards and e-wallets. Actually, just go to sales real quickly. Discount and loyalty. And so essentially you can create any kind of point system as you want, specify how many points they get per sale, whether it's based on the order, dollar spent, etc. And of course that will change based on the currency. And then these will be selectable on the point of sale, just like we saw before when Bruce Wayne bought a lot of items.
In the replenishment screen, what is the best way of working if you want to assign the cheapest supplier to the product you have to buy?
So what's going to happen is on this reorder rule, you need to make sure that the product itself has a vendor here. So for example, let's see if I can change this to buy. And there's a vendor here, and it's pulling from the price list of the product. So in fact, if I were to open the product directly, you're going to see the prices here. And there's no price list at the moment. But essentially, if you want to, what you need to do is you're going to organize them in top-down fashion based off of which ones you want to order from first. Now, if you want to order from the cheapest first, you can go ahead and put it on the very top. So let's just do that real quickly. We specify the vendor, product. Okay, let me actually just go to a different product real quickly. Chairmat, prices, price list. Where's the vendor here? It's hiding from me. Maybe something happened to this database specifically. Purchase. I'm in the wrong place. Here we go. So you can add multiple. So for example, in this case, 1 unit is 19. However, if I'm going to still purchase from this person, material decisions, I can say 20, and then it's going to be 18. And Odoo is going to then, of course, you can put this up top. It's just the first price is going to follow. It's going to go top down. Now, the thing is, it's not always going to be the case where you want the cheapest item because maybe it's further away and you need an order for tomorrow. Again, this vendor that's closer can ship it to you much more quickly. So Odoo is not going to know that unless you tell it to do so. So in the replenishment screen specifically, you would just specify which vendor price list you want to use.
During the keynote, there was a screen that can be put in the warehouse to see all the orders that needs to be prepared without reloading the page. Can you please tell a bit more about it?
I think that would be the shop floor. So essentially, this would be all the different items that you need to ship and transfer. I don't have it turned on at this moment. I can install the app. So I think that's the one he was talking about. I need to go revisit it.
At the POS screen, you could see all the staff, employee, and cashier in the list. How can we see that list?
So essentially, it's just based on the employees here. So you go to the employee application, and you'll see all the different ones who have access to it. Now, one thing is I also turned on a PIN code. So you need to make sure what their PIN is. And it will be the first thing that they need to input when they try to access. Then, in the point of sale directly, if you go to the configuration of it, you can actually specify access rights. So you have the access rights, who has the most access, basic rights, and minimum. And so then you can specify, okay, this is an opening manager or this one's not. And then, of course, only certain people can access the back end. As a quick reminder here, you don't need a user for people to be able to access the point of sale. So they can just be employees and they won't be able to go into the back end and modify any data. I think that's all we have, unfortunately, for now, but I'll be at the services area. Oh, and here's related talks. So stay tuned for the next one if you want to learn more about point of sale retail.